Here we are, folks. We got another series of many. There's 60 total sets at group stage. So we got one down, 59 to go. We have Repard in the red. Repard's a player who's been around for 10 plus years, but he's really had a crazy performance last year. It was by far his best performance in any event, I would say. And it was shocking. He beat all the players of the group pretty much, except for, I think, Mihai. He got first in gold, and now here he is in platinum. So we'll see if he could survive in this crazy group. This group, still getting used to this, but I think this should be here. Ah, yes. Act impressed, guys. That's what the group looks like. Odds are that maybe Lix and Repard are going to be bottom two, but like we've just been saying, both players obviously have lots of abilities, lots of skills. Yes, chat. Act amazed. Act impressed. Here, watch this. Ready for this? I even have the civilization draft for you. Look at that. We've got the civilization. Wait. It's not flipped. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. I'll get better at it. I don't know. I'm doing the thing. It's the other way around. Unfortunately, there's like this left-right thing in game, and so I have to put it in there twice and then flip one of them, and I thought I did. But the point is, we get better. I'll tell you guys what I've told my fiance on our first date. If you lower your expectations, you might actually end up enjoying your stay here. So that's not exactly how I said it, but it worked out for me. We're getting married this year. All right, so Jurchens for MbL, Persians for Repard. I like the pick. We've got Reverse Acropolis, where the players are in a pit. So losing map control is going to lead to horrible, horrible things. Players are probably just going to push in their deer and go scouts in this matchup. But for many, this might be the first time they've watched Repard play competitive AoE2. He's around 2,500 elo. But he's a player that MbL will know because he has actually been around for 10 years. He's been around a really long time. Actually, it says he was active since 2013. So that's not 10 years anymore. That's actually 13. MbL's very hit or miss. He had a deep run the one season. He then got relegated the next season. Then he came back. But I think he's in really good shape right now. So I think what would be tricky for MbL is typically it's preparation. I think the group stage does give him more opportunities to get a feel for the maps and get a feel for the settings. So I think MbL will be fun to watch as always. Titans League Season 5. The main difference, even though this is similar to Acropolis, the main difference is you can't be as greedy on this map and you can't play as defensive. Because on the normal Acropolis, you have the hill advantage. So sitting on top of the hill means you naturally do more damage against the opponents. But here it's the opposite. So I've seen players in some practice games, they might even build a second town center down here or something, right? And they're fighting and they have a 20 villager lead, but then the enemy's just completely surrounding them and you just run out of res. And it's not easy either to just choose this forward lumber camp. Like, you're probably still going to start on the bottom, but you got to fight for your right to pod. No, you got to fight for the wood lines, right? Hopefully I don't get copyright strike for that. That would be pretty bad to be demonetized because that sounded exactly like that song. But wood line there for Repard. A lot of villagers on wood, actually. What's he doing? The fact that he's got 11 on wood right now is a little off. But he'll probably adjust that. MbL on his way across the map. We'll find an extra deer. Just lots of deer pushing. And before the chaos in feudal. Binf guy, thank you for the 29. Cop Chameleon, thank you for subbing. Good to know the cat emotes brought you back. Thank you, Enki. Thank you, Dumpy Donut. Grand Pater. Hailstorm. Stoozy, thank you. Catching up. Jurassic Pork, thank you. Welcome in. TTL is Titans League. Well, officially T90 Titans League. Not Tuesday Taco League, but Tuesday Taco League sounds pretty sick, though. Boschwa, welcome in. Thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate it, everybody. Officially the first day of Platinum. So it feels good to see the big names. Very curious to see how they perform. I saw MbL do some practice games There were some strategies there which would be fun to watch, let's say. But none of the crazy maps are really in this draft, though. Maybe Repard's map will be the crazy one. The answer as to why Repard was going so heavy onto wood is he wanted archers. So he shifts a lot onto wood. He will wall a little bit on the left side. Archer range on the front. I'm personally not the biggest fan of archer opening on this map because you're so far and archers and infantry is so slow. But I think if you move forward with 2 spears and 2 archers really fast, it could maybe be enough. MbL will see the archer range. Good scouting from him. Very easy to find the opponent. And he'll back off. He's going for the stable. Repard also scouting. He sees the stable, so knows MbL's opening as well. These golds are actually rather complicated for MbL. If he wants to go Castle Age, he'll need that, and that is on the front of his base. So that's kind of unfortunate. More walls for Repard. Probably just wants to play safe. It's easy for me to sit here and say be aggressive if you're the underdog, but oftentimes when you're in the game, you kind of want the opposite. You have a good player on the other side. If you have an economic civ too, like Persians, where your villas produce faster, you just want to keep them alive. So early walls from Repard. Will take MbL some time to get over. MbL just playing relaxed. Archer range at home. He expects he might need a skirmisher or 2 for any archers. And there goes Repard now with the spearman and 2 archers. And he's also bringing the other spearman forward too. I like the 2 spear, 2 archers. I think there's a hole there, which he'll need to realize. And MbL sees the archers and the spears. I think he got hit by the archers, not the spearmen. And MbL will be too late to do too much here. So Repard will have good eco. I still think there's a hole. I can't really tell, but he should be checking there. Yeah, he does see the hole. And now it's all about adding the farming eco. But look already, you can see the situation with the wood lines. It'll be the same for MbL. I think MbL's spearman got 2 hits there. So that's nice value. And Repard sees the skirm, and Repard says, you know what? Let's head home. So, good scouting. Not ideal that his scout can't really contribute to the fight because the scout's so weak now, but... And now he's going to back up. And he has 2 choices here. You can try and go for the stable. Going into scouts against skirms would feel like the natural play. But if you do that, you then don't have the wood for farms. So I'm looking at an economy right now that's really struggling if he adds the stable. So if you can't go for the stable because you don't want to... You need the farms, just put the archers inside of the TC and just chill. That's a good option, but MbL can then harass the wood lines and MbL can start to force some inefficiency. So really nice start for MbL. Just not liking the way the eco is looking for Repard. But he does still have the scout scouting the map. MbL may be searching for that. MbL is probably just feeling so comfortable right now. And MbL will know everything that I'm saying. So he'll know it's either a stable, and if there's no stable, he can get some harassment on the wood lines. And Repard could still pick off some scouts. Repard could, in theory, still get fletching. Attack the skirmishers as well. But I'm seeing some shakiness from him, guys. Maybe expected. It's one thing to do what he did in gold like a year ago. But now to have earned this spot, and now you're in the top 24 of the world. Now you have to deliver when the pressure's at its highest. MbL will shift to the golds. Wondering when he will take the wood line. Maybe more so in Castle Age. He's chasing down that scout for now. And he is going to get fletching. Amp Willie says I should name this a crop of more? Oh, wait, because there's more resources? Is that the joke? Okay, I don't mind the joke. I think there's the same amount of resources as a crop of less, though. Yeah, I get it. You guys realize if I made that joke, 25 people would be spamming the boo emote at me or the minus 7k. But a chat member makes the joke, and now you guys are dropping the plus 7k. I mean, come on. At least be consistent with the way you view jokes. I know some people don't know how to tell a joke. But, like, that's just a little bit unfair, man. Spearman running away. MbL, he doesn't know where the archers are right now. He thinks those archers are sneaking. He's looking for them. Look, he's like, where did they go? Where did they go? Did he go back home? He's looking. He doesn't see them. Doesn't see them. Does he see them? Doesn't see him at all. He might get really paranoid here. This is a really uncomfortable feeling. He is killing off the spears, but he might want to be all the way home right now with those skirmishers. Repard is adding scouts, though. He's going to want this army to engage. He's also getting fletching. And now MbL will find out that the army's here anyways. I think MbL might have caught a glimpse of the villager rewalling, but there wasn't enough detail there to know. MbL's on the way up. And big armies coming from Repard. Now, I like this. I think he wanted this whole situation a little bit earlier in the game. Amazing job from MbL. He didn't really wall much at all. He's just playing full army. There's some risk to it, but just shows you how an efficient economy is an economy that's not focused on walling half the time. MbL loves his spears. He loves his skirms. He's sitting here knocking on the door now like, what do you have in there, Repard? Open up. And Repard stables on the back. He'll have forging and 4 scouts. He could easily win this fight if he snipes the spearman. But he has to micro. And I think he did snipe 1 spearman. See, he wants this big clear. He wants this big extreme surprise. But it still is going to take some time. Market's being dropped from Repard to buy and sell res. He's getting bloodlines. I just don't think he's ever expecting MbL to be up. Especially 50 seconds away from Castle Age. That's a ridiculous time from MbL. But I mean, what army will he have if he gets cleared here? The scouts, you should run away in these situations, by the way. So for any chatters out there, a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm going to lose the fight. I got to take the best fight possible. At least save your scouts. Don't lose your scouts. Well, MbL's going to lose his scouts. Well, all the scouts are dead. So he could have just run away. Maybe kept some of the scout presence on the map. MbL does the opposite of what I said. Now I look like an idiot. But skirmishers are going to go down. Army's pretty good for Repard, but he needs to advance out across the map. Nice clear from Repard. Nice clear. And now it's kind of full defense mode for MbL. He'll run this way, which is rather risky if he were to be spotted, to drop a town center. And he's trying to play cav archers on a map where he doesn't necessarily have a lot of wood secured. These skirmishers as well could still be really important, and all the skirms are going to go down. Maybe not. Maybe not all of them, but I love this for Repard. And considering the circumstances, considering how late he was to Castle Age. The scouts could be running in with forging and getting kills. MbL tries to drop a house there. He needed a house on the other side. Remember, MbL didn't kill any villagers. Repard will be through. Repard should kill that villager. So 1 villager snipe for Repard. Repard's now coming through from this angle. Repard will pressure the gold. Repard is making MbL work right now. He's taking down the cav archers with these scouts. These archers are actually backing away and microing well against the lancer. And Repard maybe has a chance of killing another villager. I'm not sure if his plan is to keep these archers alive long-term or what, but I like the damage. I like the harassment. And MbL is kind of struggling to get the consistency with the fights. Still, though, second TC. He can shrug off 1 villager loss, no problem. And I think maybe enough armies here. I also really like cav archers for the Jurchens. The mounted units attack speed bonus applies to the CA. And I love cav archers and knights and camels here because they're mobile. Repard is 2 ranges. He's going to do the same. But where does Repard end up dropping his town center now? Does he even get a town center? He doesn't have this area scouted. He doesn't have this area scouted properly. He knows about the front, but that seems risky. And over here, MbL. I think he lost a cav archer, but he's chasing down the archers. Repard does not have stone for a second TC, so often you'll see the underdogs just sell their stone and think they have to win with army. But I don't know if this is a good map for that. Remember, Persian town centers work faster. So that's why Repard has more vills. And he also killed that villager. But MbL's on 2 town centers. And MbL will kill the scouts there. And he might lose a couple skirmishers in the middle to that camel. That's not that big a deal. I think this comes down to cav archer numbers. Well, not only that, but also the crossbow upgrade's not bad. I was going to say the Cav Archer number is higher for MbL, but it will be 3 ranges for Repard. Look how open he's playing. Look how aggressive he's playing. 1 counterattack and he will have problems. But at least with the crossbows there, you can maybe do some harassment. MbL gets pushed off the gold. I think MbL wanted to move forward and counter, but now that he's off golds, he has to maybe reconsider. Stone is protected. That's 3rd town center for MbL. And MbL still just shifting the villagers around. There is a gold here. So it's not actually that big a deal. He'll send more villagers over. He's still just being so patient. And I think he can trap this army. If this is all about Cav Archer numbers, he's going to find the kills he wants. Not what Repard wants. He wants damage. He keeps trying to get damage. But MbL's only lost a couple vills, and as Repard runs away, he runs right into the town center. So I played a lot against both these guys. MbL, this is just typical. He's always going to get to the TCs. And the players that are going to break him are the guys who can add the town centers but also go heavy army. What this is like heavy army, no town centers for Repard, at least so far. I think it's a good approach, though, because MbL kind of struggles a little bit in early castlage with the army control, and then he builds up, and then the longer the game goes, the better he gets. But Persian Cav Archers, they don't scale all that well long term. You can get Parthian and Castle H, but you don't get Bracer and Imp. But look at this. MbL's so late to ballistics, for example. Steel doesn't have that. He will dive in here to take the crossbows. Cav Archer counts 13 for both. I do think you need a 2nd town center at some point if you're Repard, but he's going for Parthian. That's a long upgrade. That takes over a minute. And MbL's going to counterattack. This is a crazy counterattack, because he could still just think, I have the eco lead, let's go home and clear this. Repard needs to sense this army is not here right now, guys. He needs to understand this. Yeah, and he does. The game sense is there. He knew where the army was as well. Where does he town center? He's going to town center there. Ooh. I mean, that's a better town center, but that's exactly where MbL is going. And MbL will find the Cav Archers. He's still just able to avoid this army from Repard, and he'll find the town center as well. And that is so bad for Repard. Vill count's still close. But yeah, there's nothing he can do. All of his army has to come home now. Wow, what the? Okay, that's crazy. Double house wall saves the vills so far. He does have Parthian now, too. And obviously, he has ballistics. And he brings his army home. MbL will just take the villagers. But I don't know. I still feel like there is a slight chance that MbL starts to lose a lot of fights. I think he needs to switch into something other than Cav Archers now. I see a siege workshop from Repard. He'll want to push that town center. I would have loved to see him chase this army. He's got the better army now. I think he's really paranoid about the sides of his base. He's expecting that MbL's army is going to be here. So, and now he hasn't seen anything, and now it's time to move forward, but villagers going forward, Cav Archers moving this way, MbL's Cav Archers falling back. MbL's also paranoid. He's planning on tower defense here. And he's dropping a tower there as well, which is kind of crazy because this is before Repard even builds a siege workshop. And MbL's just, he knows how the game is going to flow. Everywhere Repard will look, MbL will have some form of resistance. And he has a 20 villager lead now. Finally, the eco's paid off. He also sees the siege workshop, which is a pretty big deal. Like, you now confirm your suspicions. And Repard's army have to move away from the towers. MbL's army could just move right forward to the siege workshop. And no! That has to go up still, and it's denied. It's a doubt shop at 94%. So now this is not looking good for Repard. Again, he's tried so much to be aggressive and flood the army, but MbL's just able to avoid the bad fights and just delay and let his economy cook. He's got 4 town centers now. He's getting ballistics, which he hasn't needed this entire time. Still probably needs to be a little careful because Parthian tactics adds the extra armor. So I think that makes the Persian CA a little bit better. But, I mean, Siege Workshop goes up, you just click Guard Tower. Just click Guard Tower, and then the siege push can't happen. Unless it's a ram. I guess rams could do it, but that's awkward as well. MbL's Scorpions are chilling in his base. I didn't realize he had 6 of them. I remember he queued up 1 or 2. He's just got a lot of things to defend. Is the CA here to defend? He's got the Scorpions here to defend, and oh man, Repard's just not expecting this. He wants to use the siege workshop. He needs to push. I think the best way to push is push this way now. Push to MbL's base from the hill. Ignore this. You do that, and you actually have an opportunity, because you can flatten the Scorps, maybe flatten the town center. TC number 3 and TC number 4 for Repard. So he's bumping up the town center to count, but now MbL is on the way to Imp. Does MbL know about the wood line here? No, he doesn't. This is really bad, actually. He needs to know about this wood line. Oh, the Cav Archer's there, too. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, Repard's probably not going to look there. MbL could probably complete that town center. MbL really needs that wood line. Repard doesn't know where those Scorpions are. Did he notice this? I think he does notice it. But I think the group of Cav Archers just won't get there in time. MbL will complete the town center, and now the Cav Archers probably need to go somewhere else. That's crazy, though, that MbL sent that many villagers. If he only sent 4 vills, or even just 8 vills, town center gets denied, and he runs out of the wood line, but he completes it. MbL lost sight of the mangonels. Or I'm sure he expected the mangonels, but he moved the Scorpions back this way. And Repard was looking for the Scorpions and can't find them. He's doing the right thing. Push the main base. This is the best position you can push. But MbL, he's fine with losing 1 archer range. He'll drop the tower. Vill count's much closer now. But Imperial Age upgrades on Cav Archers can be such a difference maker, man. It feels exactly like what it is. You have the confident player. It feels like he can do no wrong against the underdog. And I think this will flow into the next game as well. I think sometimes as the underdog, you need that first game to be the game that shocks your opponent. You don't necessarily have to win a series here in TTL, but there was aggression from Repard, but just has never had the economy to compete. Always 1 step behind. He'll see the imp time for MbL. MbL's getting Bracer. He's about to lose his 2nd archer range, but he will always make more. And now his Cav Archers are just going to move forward to Repard's base. Repard doesn't have guard towers like MbL does. He doesn't have Scorpions like MbL does. The only thing he has is his own Cav Archers, and he caught a glimpse of that with his buildings. So he's chasing that down now. But now that Bracer's in, MbL's Cav Archers should have the additional firepower and the range. Actually, not sure, because I guess with Parthian, maybe if they just take the fight straight up, it's fine for Persians, at least with the... I don't know, the overall fight should be somewhat 50-50, but obviously chemistry comes in. The range is a massive factor. Repard just can't get close. And it's just not looking good. They're going to dance. They're going to micro here. And Repard's still 90 seconds away from Imperial Age. If he loses that fight, he's going to lose more fights. More Cav Archers are on the way from MbL. More ranges now. This is where MbL could start to drop castles. Look at the amount of town centers. He even expanded over here with the town center. There's the monastery to get relics, too. It's such tough work for Repard to stay in this game now. Your units are half of what MbL has, it feels like. But then your eco is behind. So it would have to be micro. So, I mean, good luck. Or positioning. Try and raid MbL somewhere. But everywhere you look, MbL has some form of reaction. It's crazy. And a lot of this just goes back to that time where MbL was on 3 town centers and Repard was on 1. And Repard needed to make the damage happen there. But one thing Repard is not is a player who will resign early. He will fight. I remember him playing, I think, Leary in King of the Desert. He played really high level there, wasn't able to get the wins, but he just continues to fight, continues to grind. Then you... it's funny, the disparity. You have people who will never resign, and then you have people who will resign at the slightest inconvenience. Repard is kind of along the lines of ACCM and Yo, so he's a lot of fight. But MbL is walking forward with villagers. He's dropping a castle, which will deny the town center even more than he already is. He's switching to Fire Lancers. I think he's switching to Fire Lancers because he's maybe expecting a Cav switch. Like maybe Savar from Repard. But Repard is nowhere close to a switch like that. MbL, his castle will complete. I think. Yeah, it should complete. And he'll find the villagers here, hoping to collect the golds. That is such a good castle. I don't think MbL needed to switch out of Cav Archers at all. But there you go. Cav Archers go down. Villagers are on the run. And Repard is still going to try and make that Cav switch. That's what you want. You want Cav Archer and you want Light Cav. That is the right thing according to the normal game flow, but MbL is just so far ahead right now. The Scorpions should probably task the Cav Archers. Okay, it's a little wasteful for MbL. But I think he's looking over here where he's getting the relic and sees the tower. I think maybe he's looking here where he's making the treb. Dude. Repard's like, we got this, baby. We got this. We have... Who cares if we're fully surrounded? Who cares if we have a castle and our TCs are getting trebbed? He'll sneak another TC up. He'll build outposts to look for more resources. He's still flying, man. Love to see it. I wouldn't be. I would have just tapped out by now. But it's the first game, and as I always say, you want to get the nerves out of your system. You want to be certain with how much every win counts for in this format. That the game is officially over, of course. And he is Persians, I guess, so it's kind of tough to kill off. But MbL is going to place another castle on another town center. He sees the vills. That castle can't be denied. And MbL will still have more Cav Archers, which are still just so much better than the Persian Cav Archers. I don't have the Jurchen upgrades memorized. Interesting. So they missed Thumb Ring and they missed Parthian Tactics. But I guess they would need to because of the attack speed, right? They're still really good Cav Archers, but... Persians have the tankiness, they just lack the damage output. Castle goes up for MbL. Repard continues to fight. Hi, my name is T90 Official. I am running out of ways to say this individual is dead. Okay, he is now out of gold. So I can say that. He's now building a castle. He continues to fight. Repard doing this for the airtime stats for the event. And yeah, he taps out. MbL wins the game. Great game from MbL. I think like we said before, I think a lot of it came down to Feudal Age and early Castle Age. Now, there was a moment where Repard missed MbL's Cav Archers. It would probably be too difficult to go back and find it. But it was early Castle. He had just completed Parthian Tactics. He had Ballistics. MbL didn't get Ballistics for a super long time, right? Where is that upgrade on here? Okay, 3308 for MbL. And then it was 2630 for Repard. So, yeah, what you're looking at is that time period is where Repard needed to do more damage. And he couldn't find MbL's army. And anytime he would try and push a fight against MbL's eco, MbL would have a town center in the perfect position, or he'd have a tower. So I really like the way MbL approached it. He was patient. And then he was able to match the army and obviously had the much bigger eco. So, but that's a solid showing from Repard. It just might end up being a similar storyline where I'm saying it's a solid showing and it's not enough to compete in Platinum. Early days, though. Early days. And we're going to go to Zimbabwe. I'm going to quickly leave this because Zimbabwe, we have to see the start. All right, now on this map, it's arena, essentially, but there's additional food. And I thought maybe someone would just take the first rhino because you have this rhino around this ring. it's very easy to expect someone to get 1 rhino. But I have seen people bring in 3, 4, 5 and take massive risks. And I think a big reason someone picks the Mayans is because with the Mayan start, you're housed and you already get loom. So you have the loomed Vil, and then you have the eagle to prevent your opponent from bringing in the rhino. So MbL is bringing a loomless Vil out. Is he expecting the eagle? Is he going to get greedy? Because if he goes too far, if he tries to get more of these, the eagle is there. Repard is coming in already. And MbL, he's been spotted, and he's fighting back the eagle with the villager here. I mean, killing the eagle would be a massive play. Oh my god, MbL's looking so confident. You kill the eagle, you could maybe bring in 4 or 5 different rhinos. Oh, that's such good blocking from MbL. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. And now MbL has the scout to potentially block Repard from doing the same. Repard will have to scout with his villager here, and he doesn't know where anything is. He's just missed that elephant. But yeah, I thought they would be happy with just 1 rhino and 2 boars and take no risks. No, everybody's taking the risks. There is also a crocodile position, a couple crocodiles positioned around the sides, which players will have to be careful with. And all right, how many, guys? There's 1. 1 for MbL. 2. And then he can get the rhino and make it 3. Repard is getting 2, so that's not bad. He didn't lose a Vil, so economically he's still going to be a villager up over MbL long term. And Repard obviously doesn't have the ability to block, so he has to use palisades. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Whoa, okay, elephant got stuck on the tree. You do not want to lose this villager right now. Okay, yeah, he's fine. He's fine. MbL, it should be much easier for him because he can block with the scout. And these days, you can actually kill it with the town center. And since you can kill it with the town center and still eat it, that's what the players will do. Wait, hold up. Wait a second. MbL. What happened? Villagers there? MbL lost the villager. How does that happen? You can just shoot it with the TC now, dude. It's life on easy mode. Wow. Okay, well, damn, MbL loses a villager. I mean, Repard won't know that. Repard will just know how messy his start was. MbL will hope that none of us saw that. But obviously we did. But MbL will still have 2 more boars. He'll still have his water buffalo. If he really wanted to, he could come down here. Repard actually has a villager here, though. Oh, hold up, guys. I think I know what Repard is going to try. Actually, no. The more I look at it, I have no clue what this villager is doing. I think it was just looking for more hunt, and that's it. And now he realizes it's all gone. I was thinking that maybe he would focus his attack on attacking the backside, because sometimes people will take the wood line there. But I think that is just a stretch. He'll probably just collect the zebra, build some houses here, and then move along. Technically, you could go to feudal age. You could compete for all this food, but most of the big food is gone. So I think this is probably fast castle and adapt from here. And I like the Mayans, but I really like the Byzantines too. And the Byzantines don't really have any weaknesses. So I think MbL as the Byzantines, it just suits him so nicely. This was his #1 pick. And he should be feeling pretty good. I don't know if this was because some ads came in or what, but we had a bunch of people come in with primes at the same time. Thank you, Birdadactyl. Thank you, Routine Tom, Dragon. Board Person. What a name. BRR, cool guy. Thank you for the primes, everybody. It's 3 sets a day, Friday through Monday. We have another series after this, which will be Leary vs. Licks. And could talk over more things, talk over the schedule. Pretty chill game right now. This is really bad for the first day of TTL Plat. But I think I'm going to step away for a minute. I'll be right back. I really got to use the restroom. So nothing else is really happening. Everyone's just hanging out and booming. Repard will be up, but still probably a fast castle. I promise. I won't miss anything. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's really interesting how it works. People seem to really not care if I don't know, stream for 12 hours a day and don't eat and have rough sleep and not hydrate. They don't care about that. But what people do really care about is, did I wash my hands? They really care about the whole washing the hands. And yes, I did. I did. It wasn't whatever the time frame is supposed to be, you know, like the, I don't know, 45, 60 seconds or something. But it was very thorough cleaning. Thank you. In before, people show up to the stream and they will always ask, what are the, it's going to be like Imperial Age, big battle fighting over the stones and golds here. And you're going to have random people saying, what does Repard have on the right side? And it's always these houses. That's going to end up happening. And actually, instinctively, I always have to check because I'm always checking the minimap and I forget. So as a caster, it really bothers me when people do that. It's worse when it's like random palisade walls too. I always have to check. MbL's obviously got the food. So he's on his way. Repard's got a very nice build himself, though. Repard's way faster to Castle Age here. But what's the plan? Right now, I think the plan is just to add economy. He doesn't have a lot on gold, just one on gold. And he just has figured out this build to get to the town centers quickly. I wouldn't hate a town center back here if he knew about the wood line. You could take the backwood and you could take the zebra. But he does not have the scouting anymore. And against MbL, that's going to be rough. MbL can make all the informed decisions that he'd like. And part of that is the relics, but more importantly, all the stone and gold that's positioned over here. So over time on this map, you can pressure the opponent's base because you're super close together. But also you need to move up this hill or this mountain to protect the stone and gold. Wait, MbL is on stone? And he's expecting... Is he expecting an eagle all in, I wonder? I wasn't expecting MbL to be on stone right now. If I were MbL, I must be nice. I'd be the better player. I'd be thinking he has to do something insane. So option A is he goes for eagles and siege. A castle would shut that down. Option B, I suppose, would be... He goes for fast imp trebuchets, and then you can go for your own castle and defend with the fast imp. He's looking right now. He hasn't seen anything. He missed this town center. And there's actually... Whoa, what? Repard is building a town center out here. Dude, that's so risky against MbL. Will MbL lose the scout? Will MbL lose the scout? Will MbL lose the scout? The scout? Dude. I'm sorry, but if the roles were reversed, I'm convinced that MbL's town center would kill Repard's scout. But there's just something about it, right? The player who's favorite, the player with more experience, always gets a little bit lucky. Honestly, if it was 2 years ago, that would have hit. Or even a year ago, they made changes for town centers to be slightly less accurate. But that's huge. And also, it's huge that MbL has built an outpost and he can see all of the front of Repard's base and he'll add in some siege. Why does this feel like a... For a second there, I thought MbL was going to go siege tower castle drop, but no, he's going to castle drop Repard's face. But guys, he does not know Repard has eco out here. Didn't they make TCs more accurate? Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. It was the exact opposite of what I said. Sorry, I'm busy. There's a castle drop. There's things to talk about. There's things to mispronounce. I'm on top of it right now. But, like, from MbL's perspective, he is not going to ever expect someone to have an established eco out here. You would deny the golds, and then you would look to see for where they're going to take gold elsewhere. But yeah, he has no clue. I still think this is a nice push. I do wonder what Repard does, because Repard cannot go for redemption. If this was Aztecs, he could just drop a monastery, make some monks, and convert the siege. But the siege push becomes really awkward now. Every win matters for so much in this. And it doesn't matter if it's the first round or the fifth round. Obviously, things get a lot more intense in the fifth round, but For MbL, if he were to lose this game, lose any game in this series, and other people beat Repard because Repard's just the underdog, he could look back and say, man, I wish I wouldn't have gone Castle Drop, Ram, Mangonel as the Byzantines on one town center for a very long time. He's falling behind in Vils, but he is starting to apply pressure, and you could just tell that he seems pretty comfortable with this. That's a lot of idle eco for Repard. And Res Collected's even. In theory, that'll change. MbL's dropping the second town center now. Yeah, Repard. I'm just wondering what you do from here. Because if you clear up this push, which is going to be tough to do because MbL's the best Mangonel player in the game. If you clear up this push, you don't exactly want just a castle in front of your town center against Byzantines, because then he'll just go Imp and Treb it down. So I almost feel like the key for him is going to be the left, and he needs to defend this, but then maybe drop a castle on MbL's walls over here or something. But then again, no scouting, no vision on that. That seems kind of crazy too. I mean, Repard delayed his siege workshop. Initially, he placed it on the front. He knew this was coming for a long time, and he just now has a Mangonel. But yeah, MbL can see everything with the vision. So, good luck, Repard. This is exactly where MbL wants to be. Oh, Cataphract. Okay, a monastery will be added from Repard, so the Catas can't dive and take the siege. But MbL knows he doesn't have a monastery then. If you're building one now, you probably don't already have one. MbL's still running around. Life is so tough for Repard right now. This was his farming eco. This was supposed to be his villager lead. All of that is idle. The Cataphract can't get focused by the TC because the TC's too weak now. So the weak Cataphracts will do the job. The town center will go down. What a push from MbL. This was immediate, it feels like. And now Repard is dropping a castle in the back. Oh, God. That is not what the plan was, man. That is not what the plan was. He'll run this way, which is interesting. At least he has a place to go. He's dropping the castle. Still has a villager lead. But that was just so effective and so quick. Like, I thought it would take a bit longer to break it, but Repard couldn't stop that at all. MbL's playing confident. Even the attack grounds. He's expecting the Mangonel to hop out, and he's attack grounding where he thinks it'll hop out. There he doesn't, but that's what he did before. Okay, now there's a flag. Watch, he'll do it. Yeah, he's waiting for it. He guessed incorrectly, but he'll still take down the siege workshop with one more volley. And now Repard, he has to do something with the left side. You need something extreme here. I always prefer MbL's economy because it's an economy that's been working instead of moving around. I'd always prefer MbL's castle because it's a Byzantine castle. So the more this trends towards just a normal imp game, the better it is for Byzantines. Can Repard possibly do something on the left? There's no vision there. And MbL can see so much. MbL doesn't really know where to push. Maybe starting to think about getting relics now. The relics are in the corners and in like the middle and on the side. So there's 6 of them actually. So there's one here, but then the other ones are in the corners, which players might not know yet. All these little details change. There's 15 maps in the pool, so that's a bit different than your normal map. Repard knows. At least Repard knows about one of them. He might just be looking for the Cataphracts, though. And MbL 3 town centers now. And he does not know about this. That is a spectator thing, which I really wish could be changed. Anytime I look at a farm and turn on someone's Fog of War, it shows the farms. But he has no clue. He's just double checking. Repard knows those Mangonels might be on the way. I think he caught a glimpse of them on the walls. And his castle is going to complete. MbL sees the farm. He sees the castle. Run! He only loses 1 Mangonel. That could have been worse. Credit to Repard, though. He's 13 villagers up. That castle was at the perfect time to save him. This castle saved his eco. He actually has a really nice economy. My mouse, dude. I got a new mouse. I haven't set it up yet. My mouse wheel keeps glitching on me, so occasionally it just like auto zooms onto something random. I'm so sorry. I guess we have the zoomy mode for that, but I don't think MbL is throwing the game. It's just the downside of MbL's strategy is it's always low eco, right? So MbL went for low eco, high aggression, and now the aggression stalled out. It's a little similar to the previous game. Repard went really heavy army and delayed his economy. Only there, Repard didn't find value from his armies. And Repard is up. Sorry, is on the way to Imp. And MbL is definitely going to try the same thing. He's going to try a castle here and go Imp. But Repard will make Plumes now. Plumes are a pretty good unit. Repard might also... What happened over here? I could have sworn the relic got moved. I could have sworn... Hold on. What happened? Okay, well, Monk didn't want anything to do with that relic. Yeah, Repard will have the castles. Repard will have the plumes. Repard could get that relic. He at least knows where it is. And he's dropping another town center now to keep his eco competitive. Now, that spot, that castle spot is crazy. That is at the top of the map, the highest point in the world. But Repard will have Trebs faster. Also, another detail on the map is this is all cracked terrain. The villagers or buildings on the cracked terrain do go down faster. 2 villager kills here for Repard, just annoying MbL on the backside. MbL's going to run out of wood, guys. He has no wood coverage on the outside. He won't run out, I guess. But he'll that's currently his issue. So he might be buying and selling a lot of wood over time. If Repard had another castle here and you could make 2 trebs from this position right away, I think I'd prefer his position. But the fact that it's one here and one here is kind of tricky. If you send trebs from this castle to take this one down, then the treb is exposed, so you can't really justify that. All right, well, he buys the stone for another castle. Can that complete? I think it's a little too far up the hill. There's mangonels coming. This is MbL we're talking about. Repard. For now, the castle's going to be denied at 60%. Yikes! And MbL's got a 20 villager lead. The Plumed Archer goes down. Monks are still walking around over here for some reason. MbL just drops another castle. MbL's going to commit everything he has to holding this position, and he's going to drop a castle here at the same time. What? That's crazy. And he sees this, too. I also see the crazy emote. Thank you, Hardy, for adding that. Shout out to the guy on YouTube who says I say crazy a lot. I mean, I guess I wasn't sure what we could do for the emotes, so that's a good one. 90%, 95%. You got to commit now. You got to commit. It's got to complete. Send everybody. Ooh, click. Goes up. Oh, man, but at what cost? He's lost 25 villagers this game. MbL's castles are Byzantine castles. MbL still has lots of stone, lots of gold. He picks off the monks there. The cataphracts came in to raid. MbL can also start to treb push this direction. Repard just didn't expect this much pressure. He thought he could boom. I am really questioning right now. I know we have another game, but why not pick Bohemians here? Because I think he had Bohemians picked. I forget what the other map's going to be. But if Bohemians doesn't fit, I think maybe Repard was hoping for a certain matchup. But it's so tricky. Repard did get the 1 relic down here. He was hoping for conversions on the cataphracts. He doesn't have anything to counter cataphracts right now. So having the monks around the field is good, but like they wandered a little too far. Just like MbL's cataphracts have. 116 vills for MbL. Still wild to me what his woodlines look like. His woodlines are atrocious. He needs a big TC or lumber camps there. But they've traded 1 for 1 with the castles in the north. MbL's still repairing. Repard is not able to repair, and Repard's bought downhill. And he's not Byzantine, so his castle will melt there. And he is repairing here. MbL just has the better economy. He has the better position. Repard will drop barracks now. He's thinking of some form of military, but it's all falling apart for him. He doesn't have the economy. Did MbL try and place stone walls in front of his trebs? The little treb trick? which I've been waiting for people to do. I said to him and other players that they need to be doing that. He didn't build them yet. I don't think he's going to need the help, though. MbL, even if he loses this castle, he can take the trebs. It's arguable, but this is maybe even a more important position because this is all the food and all the wood eco, too. Repard is super housed. He really has no military. He's just making a random monk here, hoping to convert the katas. And he will drop another castle. He's repairing for his life here. He's repairing for his life here. I respect Repard for the fights. But, I mean, even his villagers are going to eventually all go down. MbL can move off the stone. And MbL's trebuchets just firing on Repard's trebuchets, and you need gold to repair, so Repard's just running out of that now as well. Yeah, there it is. This is what we're talking about. Finally, we're seeing this crap. Immediately after the video, there was discussion from players who were like, we need to ban this from tournaments. Some players. And I was like, no, let's wait and see. You know, I haven't made my follow-up video yet, but it's been possible in other versions of the game as well, even pre-DE. And so, yeah, if you build a tall piece of stone wall in front of your treb, it will occasionally catch a certain percentage of the shots. In some cases, at certain angles, your trebs can't ever be hit. So it's really smart. But it's hard to think about and very specific thing to do. It's something you can only do when you're completely dead otherwise. And can no longer think about everything else. Let's go, dude. This is genuinely the first time I've seen someone commit to it as you need to do it. Because you can't place walls in a way... See, like this wall here is a short wall. So ideally you place a wall where they're all tall. But he has the right idea. MbL's probably annoyed. But yeah, Repard taps out. I mean, MbL has 150 villagers. And MbL is actually making petards as well somewhere. So he was going to send it. Yeah, that was impressive from MbL. I think... I'm really confused by why the mines was picked here, in all honesty. I've seen it twice now. And so I think that there's probably some things happening in practice games where maybe like plumed archers and eagles can be very strong. Byzantines is very adaptable, so Byzantines don't really have bad matchups. So that's the beauty of picking Byzantines. And this was MbL's first civilization pick. But let me just take a quick look at the draft. See, it was Bohemians' first pick, right? So now it makes me think that it's going to be Bohemians for slopes for Repard. But Bohemians on slopes feels very out of place. So I'm wondering if maybe he picked Mayans because he was expecting MbL to go for another civ. Like maybe he was expecting MbL to go Gurjaras and he thinks that's a good matchup. I'm just not sure. So again, draft-wise, a little confusing situation here because Repard is now going to have played his first play all three without playing his number one civ, which when you lose the games, that doesn't feel great. But he's not playing Bohemians, which was his number one pick. He's playing Tatars. Tatars is the more natural pick for this. I really like the Tatars, but I love the Hindustanis. I think Tatars have their window in this matchup. I think they could win this matchup. This actually could be a crazy matchup. We could have like flaming camels, cav archers, lancers, hussars against Imperial camel, Ghulams, 9-range hand cannons, bombard cannons. Both civs are pretty stacked. But the Tatars have bonuses that you have to take advantage of at certain periods of time. And then the Hindustanis have bonuses which last throughout the game. And so it's another situation where Repard will have to get damage done using those specific timings. So getting the additional food from the livestock, that runs out. Getting the additional sheep from your town centers, that's nice, but it doesn't last forever. Cheap villagers on this side. And vills are just so key in AoE, right? So, with the eco, I prefer the Hindustanis. But what the extra food on the sheep allows you to do, it allows you to maybe reach castle age a little bit faster. Transition into an archer range faster, too, because you can delay your farms. But the other big bonus, and maybe the reason you pick this civ, is the damage dealt from elevation. There's all these little hills on this map. So anytime you're fighting on top of that hill, you have an even bigger advantage as the Tatars. And then there's obviously the slopes, which I guess I didn't show you guys. But yeah, this is the slope. Now, we've made some changes from old versions. There's one deer on each side. So if you want to go pushing, you can push one from each side. It takes a long time to do it. Some players have opted for the mill because there's 1,000 food here after the deer. So you have the shorefish, you have the hares, just hopping around, living a happy life. They're very bouncy. Oh, he's got an itch. Oh, I actually never knew that. That's pretty cute, man. That's pretty cute. I'm still going to eat them. I'm still going to kill them ruthlessly for food because I need the food. But it's pretty cute, though. Isn't that a rabbit? I mean, in AoE, it's called a hare. So, I mean, hare is it's pretty much synonymous, right? It's the same thing. There might be some slight differences. I don't know. I'm not a bunny expert. Apologies. Haven't done my research. Underprepared, apparently. Rabbits and hares are technically different. Really? Do we want to talk about this further? Do we want to explore what the differences are so people know, or do we move on? Okay. Well, go ahead. You guys could give us all the hare facts. Give us all the bunny facts if you would like. I actually feel like I should know that because my grandmother would do a lot of volunteer work with rabbits. Or hares or bunnies. What's a bunny? What's a hare? What's a rabbit? Oh, man. So many. Here comes the scout from Repard. MbL could trap that. But no, he doesn't notice it. Shout out to Tata Bam for the sub on YouTube. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We need to add a couple of those emotes onto YouTube, but thank you. Tough for me. I haven't streamed as consistently on YouTube. I think you're the first one to subscribe there today. Support's the same, by the way. 70% comes to the creator, just like it does on Twitch. So thank you very much. Hold on a second. I'm seeing YouTube chat right now. Loco Pyro says T90 failed chemistry and earth science. That is not true. That is incorrect. I failed chemistry. I got a acceptable grade. I at least passed, whatever that was, in earth science. That's so unfair. I thought YouTube was supposed to be nice. My Twitch chat were the ones that make fun of me. Apparently everyone makes fun of me. Oh, man. I can't escape it. Lucid, thanks for the 4 months. Joke, thank you. Salva, thank you so much. You're welcome. I'll see you there. Prankill, thank you. No, we don't need a YouTube versus Twitch chat duel or anything. You guys can just continue to tell people that you could continue to tell the people on YouTube to take a shower. And then, I don't know, what does YouTube say to Twitch? We shouldn't incentivize this. Would YouTube say to Twitch, get a life? Typically? But now YouTube's watching live as well. So now you both groups have no lives. Is that it? I don't know. Repard, nice build, clean build. It's all about the transitions. We'll have the stable. Is the mill over here for food? I feel like he's missing sheep. Or geese. Yeah, he is. So MbL has stolen 2 of his geese. So that's not stealing 200 food from the Tatars. That's more. So that bonus feels rather awkward now. I don't know where they were, but that's what happens when you push in the deer, I guess. And MbL came forward to scout and gets rewarded. MbL sees the villas moving to the left, so clearly Repard will be making a move over there. He also knows the villagers are over here. It's pretty rare to see double mill on both sides. You're very exposed then. I think if you take one side and then take the berries and just farm, that's probably a little bit better. But high risk, high reward, right? MbL's over here. Repard scouted that as well. Very, very, very active with the scouting here, both players. And nice hit there from Repard. So first significant damage dealt. 4 HP. The other thing about this map is you have a stone and a gold side, and that can differ. So long term, you want TC and whatnot on the stone and the gold, and the wood line on the outside. Yeah, MbL's no stranger to this situation. He understands the Civ matchup. And it's perfect. You don't have cheaper spearmen with this hit, but because you have cheaper vills, it feels like the spearmen are cheaper. So that food savings just applies to other things. A big army from Repard. Keep an eye on his food eco, though. He has 0 farms. He's also not even, like, full walling or anything. He's really just sending it. MbL's going for more of the long-term walls. MbL doesn't have his spears in position, though. Repard dives. Repard kills 1. Repard could kill 2 spearmen if he wants. MbL gets the walls off, though. And the shorefish still have a decent amount of food income. MbL's scouts are going to move forward. MbL with an archer range, making archers. Good start for Repard. 1 win would be huge here. It would be so good for Repard. And it would just... If it's true, like if it is really the case that Repard will struggle to get wins in Platinum, it is a big downside for MbL. A spearman's there from Repard, but MbL returns the favor. Dives for it. Repard will need to fight back with Vills. Maybe bring another spear. Also has to control his army here. Everywhere you look, there's more spearmen from MbL. MbL kills the Vill. Still keeping Repard busy. This is just lovely stuff from MbL. Just fields so much army. It's still a high army count for Repard, but he just doesn't have it all together yet. Still just don't feel like Repard's eco is going to flow amazingly when he finishes the hair. I don't know. He's got a lot of food there. It's kind of disappointing for him. He had spearmen protecting this, but he didn't have the spearmen protecting this. He's actually sending the spearmen forward thinking MbL will be there. He's not. I like the house walling from MbL. Just a lot stronger against heavy army. He hasn't gone for the full palisade yet. He has built a palisade wall, but I mean, there's even a hole in the back. He just seems confident. The spearmen come forward. He has the archers now. Repard will also have the archers, but MbL always has just enough to match. But that's not the start to the fight he would want. Good micro from Repard. I think he's got housed here. Yeah, he's housed. So can't produce vills, can't produce army. And he's scared of the left side, so he's going to pull away over to the gold, drop the tower, fall back. And MbL should be able to notice this army. Repard was really hoping there'd be something over here. That's the thing, though. You have the option. You don't always have to take it. 3 out of the 4 areas have been taken here. Sometimes it's 0. Sometimes players won't take that risk. Oh, scouts are here, though. Would not have expected the scouts to show up here. Repard is the tower, but Repard is a lot of vills for MbL to take as well. There's a lot happening. The micro from that one archer needs to be perfect for Repard. Has to take down those spears, and then the scouts can engage. He also needs to keep his own vills alive. He's lost 3. Micro on both sides. The archer still needs to go crazy in there. MbL's killing off the archer. We're trying to anyways. The spears are still around, and you can just tell Repard is having issues. His base is getting hit at the same time. He has to micro perfectly. It's so difficult. He's fighting back with villagers. MbL still running around. And in the end, this army just doesn't do enough for Repard. He won't kill any vills. He loses the archer. There's still spearmen around. And that was a lot of idle time for him. MbL still has the scouts over here. The villagers here don't actually have protection now. The spearmen went forward. And it's not the biggest army ever from MbL, but 2 archers and 2 spearmen could definitely pose a threat here with the scouts to back him up. So now Repard needs to run away again. MbL will see this army as an army that will die, and it's all about the follow-up. He just wants to keep control of the game, keep Repard chasing him right now, and that's really nice micro from MbL. The second archer range. Look at the farms. You've got 14 farms for MbL. We only have 4 farms for Repard. Yeah, he just... high risk, high reward again. He really needed the early damage to happen. And you just can't do early damage to MbL very easily. MbL played consistent. He played safe when he needed to. He'll play safe now and leave the left-hand side. And yeah, he's rolling right now. With 5 archers in queue, things should be pretty good. It's a little wasteful, though. Losing this archer is a bit rough. Maybe he saves it. He does have the spearmen. He does have the scouts there. It'd be really nice if he could save that archer. He does also have the army over here, which could go into Repard's base. Oh, man. Repard is struggling. Palisades and stone walls. And villagers are exposed on the left as well. So if MbL comes in with more army, that's even a bigger problem. MbL's loving life right now. So in Platinum this year, it's $30 per win. I think it used to be 40, but we put a little bit more into the placement prizes. Grand prize, total of just the placement prize for like first, for example, is like 7,500. Total prize pool is now 64K. But you got to compete with everyone else in the group. You don't know how things are going to go. And from MbL's perspective, this 3-0 is going to build some confidence. And then he will become a very big Repard fan, right? You beat Repard 3-0, you beat anyone, and then you instantly hope they become a god and take all the points away from everybody else. That's kind of how you have to view it. But no, I think Repard just... I think even he knows. This has not gone well for him. He saw 7 vills. His eco's an absolute wreck. He's going to use the market to try and balance that. He is going for a counterattack. MbL's army is all forward. Well, it's not all forward. He actually has some of his army here. But he's not walled yet. And if MbL were to move out, this could be Repard's chance, maybe. I'm curious to see MbL's reaction time here. He's adding a couple skirms. Yeah, he definitely sees it. Quick walls. More houses now. Damn, that's crazy, though. He hasn't lost a villager. It's still open, though. And he's producing a couple skirms. He just keeps going forward with his army, too. I would come home in a panic. I guess he lost one villager in there, but it's well played. Skirms are here to match. Repard will fall back. And MbL's got army everywhere. He's got action on the right side. He's got action on the left side. He's got the archers forward, and Repard just has to run away. Yet, schedule changed a little bit, guys, from what's being shown on Liquipedia. The next series is going to be Leary vs. Lix. Tomorrow is Haralucho and the 2 other sets I don't have memorized yet. I'll pull that up, but we talked about the schedule today, and that changed last minute, so... But we'll have all the sets. We do 3 sets a day. Just shift some things around. I know Leary's going to be a god. I know Leary's going to be incredible. That's just what we've come to expect. I have no clue what to expect from Lix. Because Lix is like... He's been very hit or miss in tournaments for years. Especially in Titans League. So... But it would be amazing for the season if Lix is peak Lix. Because peak Lix could give people some problems. Especially on some of these maps. But MbL feels like he can do no wrong right now. His crossbows dive in. Kill 2 more villagers. Kills 3 more villagers. 4 more villagers. Repard brings all of his army back to stabilize from this. And MbL just backs away. At home, MbL churning out the skirms. He was waiting for that army from Repard at his base. He's probably a little surprised to see the crossbows. That's perfect for MbL. You get the Vill kills, and Repard can't get counter damage. That's the dream. And with MbL's micro, he might even be able to win the fight as well, which is ridiculous. It should be a better fight for Repard. I think that's why Repard's getting close, because he has Thumb Ring, and he just wants to make that difference... swing the fight. But it's not really swinging the fight. The skirms are on the way. Crossbows are on the way. This army's still dancing back here for MbL. He knows he's won this game. It's going to be a tough season for Repard. That's what's so... It's like, congratulations, you get promoted to Platinum. And then first series in Platinum, you're like, oof. Oh, man. MbL looked so good. Yeah, I mean, Repard's going to get this cleared up. Repard will add siege, of course. Like, you add the siege, you're chasing. You have horrible economy. MbL drops town centers everywhere. That's a good time to resign. Well played from MbL. And he starts off strong. So, yeah, pretty self-explanatory for this one. Repard just was a little wild with how he played the map. Maybe it was too much to take both the sides and also take the berries. But I think the big storyline is what happened with the draft for him. Clearly, Bohemians was for the closed map. It's one of the best closed map civs, and he didn't play them. So, like, losing and then not playing your first pick is kind of weird. Again, I'm thinking that in his mind, Mayans was a good matchup against one of those civs, or maybe it just came down to the Eagle. I think the Eagle and the Loomed Villager at the start is just something that instilled a lot of confidence in him. But it didn't work out for him today. GG's to MbL. Well played.